Hello and welcome to Life Clarifications with Natasha. I There's something going on here. There we go. Okay. So I'm live on Instagram on my phone. And I'm also live here on Facebook and my YouTube channel. And if you are on Twitter, I am here also. For some reason, I don't get uh, the messages when I am on with anybody on Twitter. So if you can go to my YouTube channel, Natasha Venter, be there. As you are there, please subscribe and like where you're at because of the fact that I do a lot of inspirational posts on all my platforms. Many of the platforms are ones that I go to. A lot of them are videos on my YouTube channel, and I do a special thing on my YouTube channel, which is Let's Get Tiggered, Not Triggered. And sometimes I'm vulnerable there. No makeup, whatever life is happening going forward. And I need to post about something that's been happening in my life that I don't necessarily share on a lot of platforms. But yet, I want people to know that even though I'm an intuitive medium, life personal awareness coach, that I too get hit by life. I too have to negotiate through a lot of what you are negotiating through. Now, if I'm intuitive, I do get a different perspective, right? So with that as we're going forward and as I'm going doing things, that many times I see the reasoning behind something or why something is happening. And there's that dance that we all have to go through. And I just have a little bit different tools than maybe some other people, right? So with that going forward, well, today we are in a full moon. And it doesn't matter if you're in a full moon in April, May, June, July, or August or September. Right now we're in July, going through 2022. So with that going through this full moon, it's one of those things that it can trigger a lot of us. Well, any of the planets going through retrogrades or this or that and the other can happen. We do have a couple planets in retrograde right now, which will trigger us also. But a lot of us are dealing with some really nasty inner struggles of emotions, right? We're dealing with them because the fact that we're um, we're having to make some life altering decisions. And even if we're not making those life altering decisions, many a times we are dealing with other people that are struggling with some scenarios. And I know that many of us, when we go into those dark emotional thoughts, that we don't really have the abilities. And that saddens me because there's a lot of people who are making choices not to be here because of a split moment thing that's happening in their lives. And yet, I understand that many things are building up, and it's hard to negotiate through some of those things because of the fact that maybe we didn't have the easiest childhood in perception or reality, or we did not have the people to teach us the greater goods, right? Because the fact that a lot of us were in trauma lives and we deal with emotions there. So with that going through these full moons, it's interesting. Now, I cannot tell you that this full moon, oh my gosh, today, if you notice on my other platforms, Facebook and YouTube and Twitter, that I did not post ahead of time that I was doing this show. I mean, I did in my video that I did yesterday, but usually I do a pre-post, and I didn't this time. I totally spaced out, but this full moon, it's hard for me to not be in dreamland, I'm going to call it. Dreamland has been something that, like this morning, I woke up at 7:30, looking at a text of a friend and I going for a walk. And then I woke up at the exact minute that I was supposed to be meeting them for that walk. I didn't handle that very well, did I? Or I didn't negotiate that very well, did I? So with that going forward in our life, there's been these things that trigger us. And then later I was doing a session with someone and doing some dimensional work because I love to go into past lives and other dimensions. Have you ever seen Doctor Strange and the Madness of madness of the worlds or something like that. Well, that's kind of where I live, is in these different dimensions. And so, so many times I have to tell myself, I want to be here and now. Well, that can trigger my husband, who is very much of a love. Why are you so distracted all the time? Why can't you be here? Well, you know, because of the fact that, it depends on where I'm at. It really depends on where I'm at. So with that we can be triggered by many things, and these full moons can really do it to us, right? These full moons can really do it to us. Going forward is the struggle that we get into, though. How can we go forward through these emotions if we don't know how to do it? And I can tell you that, like last night, to use an example that just happened in my life, that I picked my husband up from work because we were going to go do a special dinner to celebrate something. And he did not have the best of days. After a little bit, because he's learning not to yell at me when he's upset. He used to be in a drink a lot, and he would use me as a safe place to fall. But we're changing that pattern, thankfully, because I like to be a safe place to fall to. And in relationships, it's nice to be a safe place for our partners, to, if they're having a hard time, to be to fall into someone else's understandings and love. But sometimes when we're the safe place, we are also the punching bag or the emotional dumping ground. I always called it, I was his garbage can. And I have decided not to be a garbage can anymore. I will be a support, I will be a love, but I'm not going to be a garbage can. And so we're switching some things around. And so as we were driving down the road, and after he did a couple of breathings, because he's doing much better now, being 10 years sober, that reached out my hand and held his hand. And he didn't embrace my hand, but yet he did hold it. And I was, thank you. Thank you very much. And I told him, I wish I could support you. And he says, yeah, I wish that you can too. I want to quit my job. So I was saying, I wish I could support you in his emotions and his being and his day by talking, but he wanted me to physically support him in life jobs, right? Wish I could too. I wish I could too. Different perceptions on what we were meaning, right? And that's the thing, is that when we're getting into emotions, a lot of times we speak halfway, and people can misinterpret us, right? So if we get misinterpreted, a lot of times that causes more traumas in between our two. And I want people to know that no matter where you're at, if we can start treating each other with a little bit more kindness, and ourselves with a little bit more kindness, that we can actually negotiate our life a little bit better. And I'm really praying that this full moon, we could do that. I actually lit some candles and prayed for kindness around this world. Be done, because full moons are about being done, about not having what we're doing in life anymore. It's a great time to release, to accomplish our world. And so with that's what I prayed for, was for us to be reaccomplished, for us to do what we needed to do so we can go forward. So as we're going forward, the only way to shift things is to practice something new, doing something new. So going down the rabbit hole is one of those things that we do when we're emotional, right? We go down that infamous rabbit hole. This life is always terrible. Why is life doing this to me? Why can't I get ahead? Why can't we go down that crazy rabbit hole, right? That's when our really dark thoughts come out. You stupid, you crazy, you never, and it's like this being is on our shoulder, just we get really, really dark with our thoughts. I'm not good at anything. Why am I not doing good? Why am I not able to do this or that? And why am I such a, I make mistakes all the time, and I can't even say some of the words that I know that some people think, because I don't want them in my vocabulary, right? But I can tell you that there is some really dark things that we say to each other and to ourselves first. Like I was having a moment with someone the other day, and they were saying how uh, pained they were about their life, that they couldn't negotiate. Their rent is going up and things are happening, and they're like, I can't, I'm not going to be able to survive this one. What am I going to do? Where am I going to go? What's going to happen? And yet, because of life going forward, that this person has always learned that they have been taken care of, that things have happened for them, right? That they may not have gotten always in the better place, but they've always had a place to fall to. They've always had someone who they could room with or that kind of thing, because they actually were not, sometimes we're on drugs and that kind of stuff. And, we wear out the people that we go to all the time, right? Because we're not trying to do better ourselves. But if we can do better ourselves and learn the lessons that we're doing, many a times we can move forward to be better for life around us. And I know that this person who, went to work every day, did their better, tried to keep, the place that they were staying better than they found it, and that kind of thing. We can still wear out the people that we're with, but at least the people we're with can see that we're trying to do some better good. Well, this person ended up knowing that they always are taken care of by the universe. But yet, at this minute of doubt, what am I going to do? Where am I going to go? I can't find any else place to live. I don't know where I'm going to do. Dark thoughts. Dark thoughts are with us a lot. Dark thoughts are really with us a lot. It's part of our chemistry. It's part of our brain makeup is to go into those dark thoughts, because we spend a lot of time by ourselves when we're kids, and so where do our thoughts go when we're dark, especially when we hear our parents fighting all the time, right? So what I'm inviting for you to do is to change some of the language that you're in, because the full moon is this is a great time, because the full moon is actually this Wednesday at, I think it came in this morning, like at 9 o'clock. So we're really in the impact of it, very strong impact of it. Depending on where you live, depends on what the impact is and what time of the day it is. But the full moon, it's about moving forward. It's about really taking care of ourselves. So how can we change some of this language when we're talking negative to ourselves, right? Because of being triggered. How can we negotiate some of these moments where we're really talking real negative to ourselves? For one, I tell myself all the time, stop. Just stop. Stop, stop, stop. Just stop. And I don't hit myself hard, but I kind of just tap my head because that's what I'm talking to, right? So stop. I wanted it. Okay, so if I'm saying something like, I'm so freaking stupid, I don't know what to do anymore, life is just, this shit's right now. I don't, what am I going to do tomorrow? I can't even do today well, right? Well, changing our language. And like I was on a show with a friend of mine, Patty, and we talked about manifesting, right? And when she said that we have to brainwash ourselves. Well, we hear about brainwashing as a negative thing, right? But no, it's actually a positive thing. It's a positive thing if you use it in a good way. And many of us don't realize that if we manifest and we want to change our lives, because full moons are about releasing, it's about transforming something to a greater good. So, like today, I did a session with someone and we did some healing. We went in and did a healing meditation. We did it on different dimensions, right? We went through the different dimensions. Like I was saying, if you watch Doctor Strange movie, The Madness of the Worlds or something, worlds of madness or something like that. That's where I live, right? That's what I do. I work in the different dimensions at the same time. So we went in and healed the different dimensions. And as we were doing that, we were releasing some of the pain and the ache from the generations. The generations. And so this is a great time to do that. So brainwashing, going into those negative emotions, right? Going in and spending some time with them. I always tell myself, I'm going to give myself a counseling session time. So I allow those emotions to kind of have their say, right? And so I just sit there and I listen with my emotions, and I even hear myself. I listen to myself, saying these things. And I'm like sometimes I go to myself and I go, boy, did I say that? Am I telling myself that? Oh gosh, am I going to do that? Wow. And then I realize how bad I'm treating myself. How bad I'm treating myself. Well, sometimes a lot of this is unconscious. We're doing unconscious negative talks. Like we'll be walking around and doing something, and like somebody who's doing construction. This is something that happens all the time. You hit your nail, you hit your thumb with the hammer, right? I'm so fucking stupid. What am I doing? I don't what? Why am I doing that? You know, Gosh damn it! I know better than to do that, right? What we can do is we can brainwash ourselves, change that statement by saying, ouch, gosh, why did my thumb have to get in the way? Why did my thumb have to get in the way? And hammer, why couldn't you stop in time? Well, ow, how can, oh, let me get some ice. Let me just send some love to it, right? And some of us just plain old buck up and go work through it, right? So, how can we brainwash ourselves? In other words, why do we have to tell ourselves that we're stupid when it's something that was like thumb got in the way of the hammer? Did I plan that? Did I plan my thumb to get in the way of the hammer? No, probably because I was distracted, right? Well, yeah, because I was distracted, I would get the thumb in the way, you know, doing too many things at the same time. We're not stupid. We're free from being stupid at times in our lives, but yet we do that to ourselves all the time. Kind of like for me, the other day, I was doing some weeding and I bent down and I knocked my forehead, right? Well, I could have told myself, why am I doing that? You stupid. Why are you thinking that? And the first thing out of my mouth, because I've brainwashed myself enough for all those years, I said, I'm grateful I didn't hit my eye. I'm grateful I didn't hit my eye because it's not that far away. And the way I was working, I could have gotten that stick in my eye real easily. So I brainwashed myself instead of demeaning myself as stupid and thinking negative about myself. I've practiced enough to learn to negotiate my world so that spoke myself more on the positive way. We can treat ourselves better, but it is that process of negotiating the world we're in now. Negotiating the world we're in now. Because we really get into the scenario of deeming ourselves bad when it wasn't our fault. It wasn't our fault. So trusting the process of life and going forward. No matter where we're at and what we're doing and maneuvering our world, there's gonna be things that trigger us, and we slip down that rabbit hole so freaking fast. So freaking fast, right? And sometimes we get cooked. An example in my world, that my husband lost his dad, went on a trip. Our dog got sprayed by a skunk. Found out that his job was going to change hands. The owner was selling, and somebody else was buying, right? And now he's in the the process of the new company coming over. So the computers aren't working the way that they used to. He has to do almost everything new because the way that they did it wasn't the same way that the old company did it, right? And so he's being triggered left and right, left and right, left and right. And he's going into those deep emotions because he's being triggered. Oh, being triggered. That crazy word trigger. Let's think about that for a second. Being triggered. Being triggered outside of us, we get triggered a lot. I've had many conversations about people. Why is so and so doing that? Why are they doing that? Don't they know better than to do that? Why in the heck are they doing that? I don't know why, they're making, oh my gosh, what are they thinking? And then that triggers us in a deep down way. I can tell you that there's different perceptions right now, and they're really showing themselves out, and it's not always good for the greater good. I'm struggling with some of the decisions that are being made right now, and I can't tell you if I'm pro or not pro. I'm pro being able to make a choice that my body and I want to make. It doesn't matter if it's keeping or not keeping, right? It's about choice. Just like I don't believe that somebody should be told they can't be in a restaurant because of certain things, because they have a choice to be where they want to be. And that's angering me. But I'm brainwashing myself. I've asked for healing on this. I'm asking for healing on this. I'm asking for this pendulum to swing, right? And as we go forward and we're getting triggered by other people's decisions, that triggers us some anger and some frustration in us. Oh, what do we do with it? What do we do with those emotions? What do we do with them? Those things that really sit in us. Well, I know many of us scream and yell at the friends and the family members that we're with, our loved ones that we're with. We scream and yell at the guy that cut us off in the car because it was the camel, or it's the string that broke the camel's back, right? It was the last thing that we could deal with for that day. So with that, the more that we can negotiate and know that, life is going to keep going forward. And if we can take a deep breath, there's been times where I played a song that had a really strong bass beat and the words that sang, and I pounded on the steering wheel as I was parked because I need to get rid of some anger, right? So find ways to move with it, not necessarily at somebody, but find ways to move with it because of the fact that we are getting triggered right now with a lot of anger. Some of us are getting triggered by the anger of our bodies making decisions for us. And some of us didn't want to have cancer and we're angry with our body. But it's okay to be angry, but do it in a time frame. Like I said earlier, that, I'm giving my time, my emotions like a session. Like I give people an hour session. So why not give myself an hour session with the counselor? Me. Sit there for a few minutes and say, well, I agree with you that we should be angry. Talk to your emotions like they're friends. Sounds kind of goofy, but nobody needs to know you're doing that, right? It's okay to be angry. I'm angry with you. Urgh! Punch the steering wheel, scream and yell, put on music that really gets you angry, but be in a safe place to do it. Go hit a punching bag, scream into a pillow. There's times where, like for me, if I dance, There's one song that Shinedown sings. I love rock. And they sing, "How Do You Love?" And it's one of my songs that I dance to, that because it leaves me with, even though I'm angry, but in the end, how do I love? And in those lyrics, there is lyrics that say things like, you're at the end of your rope, you're being beaten down, but in the end, how do you love? And I can tell you that that song is something that writes me. And when I say writing, it's not necessarily right or wrong. It's about like a ship being righted. It's about a ship, like when we're angry, we're off kilter. But yet, if when we can become more neutralized, we come up. So find those things that can work with us to shift our knowings. I know Joe Bossamana, I listen to the blues there, and there's some songs that are very much are are those songs that just get you going. I also listen to Nelly, and I like some of Nelly's songs, that because there was one that about God, you turn it up and your seat rumbles. I love that song too. So with that, finding something that can negotiate with you. Because I can tell you this full moon, it's really it's really hitting us. So I'm going to give you some examples of how to shift some of our reality around us with this full moon. I wanted to give a little bit of a I didn't write this in the context of what I did today, and I will go in and edit them. But I wanted to go in and give you an ability to have a ritual that you can do at full moons. Okay? So on a piece of paper, and you can re-listen to this message if you, or this video if you want, because I'll post it on my platforms. I so if you, for this or something better for me, I'm asking as soon as possible and in all realities, sooner than possible, as possible, right? But we can be done. I'm done with being punished in my life for being me. I am done being oh, that's powerful. I am done being punished for being myself in my life. I am receiving and I'm worthy of finding love and communion with the beings and the people around me. Another full moon thing could be, I am done with being triggered whenever I turn around. I am receiving the grace of unity and balance when I walk into a scenario or situation. I am done being the fall guy or the one that gets beaten up when other people are emotional. I am receiving the ways of negotiating the people around me with love and grace. I am done being triggered by my financial undoings. I'm receiving abundance and love for myself, as I am worthy of having monies in my world. I am done with my life falling apart and triggering me. I am receiving a life that has a great foundation for me to move forward in my life. I am done with having relationships around me that are always in turmoil. That's a big one. I am receiving relationships that we find communion together with love and kindness. I am done being triggered by my outer world and what is going on. And I am finding and receiving calmness for the world I'm in now, at this minute. Now, what does that mean? It means that I need to stop turning off the news, or I need to stop dealing with the worrying about other people's world more than mine. So there are ways to negotiate our world. And I can tell you that doing those kinds of mantras and when you get triggered with something, I'm done being triggered by dot 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 dot. It doesn't matter if it's a full moon or not. Let that be some of your go-tos when you get triggered by something. I am done being triggered by my spouse who is always lazy. Let's call it. Because in your world, the perception is that person's lazy, when actually maybe they're just tired and they're low iron. That happened to me. My adrenals got screwed up and that almost acted like low iron to me. So it was hard for me to get off the couch. I wasn't lazy. I wanted to do things. I just had no energy. I felt like a cork was pulling all my energy out, right? So with that we can have, I am done. I am done being triggered by my spouse's laziness. I'm receiving the understanding and the grace that we can all be healthy and better and find our rhythm together so we can create a lovely life together. So taking those emotions and getting triggered by them, when you can, saying that I am done with what I am bothered with, and then follow suit with something that is in the positive, because you want to fill something in to being positive. You want to transform. Remember, the full moon is about being transformative. Let it transform. Let it move forward. Let it move through its being. Oh, there's one more stewing in my knowings here. I am done with my body falling apart when I get stressed out. I am receiving a healthy body that is willing to weather the storm with me. That's a good one. I am done with my body being triggered when life is moving around me. I am receiving a body who is willing to go forward with me in complete health and wisdom. Life is very much about being triggered right now, and I wish for grace and ease and love and light for everyone. But I can tell you that right now we are being triggered, and it's okay if you get a little bit angry. It's okay if you have frustration. It's okay if you have these scenarios that are not in the better for us. But I can also tell you that if we get triggered, there's a reason for it. And it's to help us work through. Because if we don't get emotional about something, how are we to know that it's not supposed to, that it's something that we're supposed to work on, right? Every time I get triggered, what is this here to teach me? Because there's something about this emotion that is supposed to do some healing work with me. But many of us stay in the pain and ache instead of going into something that is very graceful and loving. So if you can, brainwash yourself. Be angry. Okay, I'm angry. Be willing to step up and move forward in your life. Be willing to navigate through the waters of what's happening and switch. Turn this light switch on. It's okay to be angry and sad and disappointed and triggered. Then how can we shift that from being triggered all the time to being done being triggered? And I'm asking for cohesiveness. Life is about not staying there down. It's about staying more in the neutrality, righting our ship, moving our ship so it's uprighted. All the cargo is balanced, more balanced. Cargo can never be totally balanced, right? but it can be more balanced. And so if we can be more balanced, then life is a little bit easier, even though it's doing. Now, one thing that I talk about is that sometimes when I go through a big turmoil moment, like I was riding this ride with my husband, my father-in-law passing, we came back. 2 days later, my husband left on a trip for 4 days to go golfing, and I was left with a dog that was, skunked. And so I had to give a dog many baths within those couple of days because of skunked. And then I had to ride the ride of supporting my husband through his job change. And at the same time, my morning job that I do was coming to an end because I work in an elementary school system. So that was coming to an end. At the same time, there was some drama there, right? So, we all have these stories that we're going through. But like I told, and my poor dog was having a struggle. My digestive system wasn't doing as well. I was having a hard time eating certain things. And at the same time, my dog kind of lost her appetite too. So my appetite got lost and her appetite got lost, which is a trigger for my husband because he likes to eat. So with that, instead of saying, boy, what a life I had the last couple days, I say, yeah, I went through the car wash, got tumbled, got turned around, got flipped around, got all these different scenarios. You know how a car wash, your car goes through the car wash and you get beaten on the side, you get thumped on the top, you get the whooshy, 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 whooshies, right? And then you get blown dry. I didn't talk about the hot wax, right? But I come out a little cleaner because of the fact that my intention when I'm going through something is to see what it's supposed to hear, to teach me. I go through the emotions of the grief. I deal with the scenarios of what's happening. Then I come out going, okay, sorry, body. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. And sorry about the yawn there. I'm in La La Land. Like I said at the beginning of the show, this full moon has really put me into dream world. In other words, into different dimensions, and it's really pulling me around. So it's really easy for me today to go to sleep and stay there. It's not very healthy for me, though. I need to get things done today. It's an easy day to meditate and fall asleep. So with that, as we're going forward, I hope that some of this conversation, excuse me, when we're going through the moments of transferring from our full moon negative energies to what do we want to transform into the new moon. So I'm done with, and I am receiving and worthy of. You can transform those and have those as your go-tos because you've practiced, retrained your brain. You've practiced to move forward, right? And life is about moving forward and being righted like a ship being righted. I do hope this helps. So remember, please, that if you like what you hear, you can go to my YouTube channel, Natasha Venter, and I have different videos there that I've done there. And if you can like and share whatever video I do and post I do, because I do written posts and video posts for inspirational quotes. So right now in my show, I am going to do cards. I work with Oracle cards, and this always helps. Thank you, Veronica. You are always one with kind words. This always helps. I'm so grateful because we're in a moment where life is happening. So my Oracle cards I'm going to pick today to do. And on Instagram, if you have any that you would like to do, all you have to do is put intention out there, and a card will pop out for you. So the dragon cards. Which ones? I'm going to do the Wisdom of Avalon cards. And these are basic cards that have different path markers, animals, and then different tellers. I love the goblin, deer. Okay. Wisdom of Avalon. Veronica, if you want a card, I will pull a card for you. Let's see. Which ones should I do? Oh, unicorn. I'll do a unicorn. So the unicorn, Doreen Virtue's unicorn. These are just gentle cards, but they give a lot of good messages they want to speak today. So if you would like a card on Instagram or on Twitter, and if you're on Twitter, please go to my YouTube channel, Natasha Venter, and I'm live there, and you can post what you would like. Oh, unicorn. I will do unicorn, Veronica. Thank you. So unicorn. Okay, so I have, for those that are the Wisdom of Avalon can have, or the dragons. The dragons are really coming alive. They are really coming alive. Okay, Veronica, so you wanted unicorns. So if you can put the intention of what you would like the unicorns to tell you. I don't need to know your questions if you're wanting questions, but you can put your intentions and the universe will hear. Okay. For Veronica. There we go. Got the connection. So as I'm shuffling, I'm waiting for a card to speak to me. Waiting for a card, Veronica. Cards are coming forward for you. Woo! Okay, that one's coming out. You'll know in the morning. You'll know in the morning. So sometimes, sadly, we have to wait for answers, right? You'll know in the morning. When you wake up, you'll have a better idea about what to do. Relax until then. Isn't that hard sometimes to relax in the morning? You will know more in the morning. So let me go. You are gifted. You'll know more in the morning. Okay. When you wake up, you'll have a better idea about what to do. Relax until then. Sometimes the universe has to do its work. One reason why you feel unsure right now is that you're trying too hard to know the answer. The best thing to do is let go and relax. The answer is right there for you. And soon as you stop trying so hard, you'll know what to do. In this case, the best solution is to sleep on it. When you wake up, you'll have much better ideas about and the best plans of action. During your dream time, the angels and the unicorns will show you how to come up with a happier solution. They'll show you what the power of love and light healing everything. They will also help you to find the strength to take action. So far now, don't worry. Trust that your answer will be there for you when you wake up in the morning. It may not be the whole answer, but it will be at least guide you in the right direction. Sleep well. Sleep well. Then Veronica says yes. Yes, you've had some very big decisions to navigate through, Veronica. I know you a little bit, and whew, you'll know in the morning. Yeah, you'll have some peace about it. I think that there's some peace that needs to come up because it's not time to react. It's about walking forward in your, and I'm going to tell you that a dragon wants to come out for you too, Veronica. Does anybody else want a card on Instagram or anything? Let's see, the dragons. This is for Veronica also. Woohoo! Did you see that card pop out? Dragon. See, I told you there was a dragon card for you. Divine feminine. Divine feminine. Even the masculine, the males in our lives have divine feminine in them, just like I have divine masculine. So we have it. So divine feminine. So this is 10, 20, 32. 31, 33, 32. So 32, divine feminine. It is time to stop playing small and claim your place within the circle of light. Divine feminine is the smallest dragon I have yet to encounter. She appeared near the time of the summer solstice, and her counterpart is Heron, who symbolizes divine masculine. She is here to connect you to your divine feminine energy. She told me, you possess everything you need for your existence on earth, and all you need to do is accept and understand that. When we begin to realize that we no longer have to look outside of ourselves for answers and approval or feel the need for possession, we can begin honoring ourselves as spiritual human beings. We are exactly who we need to be and where we need to be at any moment. Divine feminine brings a sense of acceptance when you find yourselves at a crossroads and assures us we have infinite resources to see us through. Often she appears around the solstice or equinoxes, or at times we are coming into complete a cycle. Complete a cycle, our full moon. She guides us to keep our faith and stay true to ourselves, following our inner guidance during transitional times. Although Divine Feminine is the smallest of the dragons, she carries an immense power, and this is her message to you. It matters not how small you may feel on the inside. In truth, you are more powerful than you can ever begin to imagine. This power is deep within you, and you know intuitively what is required of you. It is time to stop playing small and claim your place within the circle of light so that you shine. Others are drawn to you, like the sunrise on a summer solstice morning. So own it. It is yours. Own it without fear or ego, but with acceptance and grace. She allows us for the first time to acknowledge and touch a feeling of personal power, for she encourages deep trust in divine, which settles itself comfortably in our being. Wow. She is the smallest dragon, but one of the most impactful, divine feminine. I hope that helped, Veronica. Wow. Dragon. Okay, so with that, since nobody else has asked for a card, I'm going to pull the Wisdom of Oracle or of Avalon for everyone. Okay, so this is a card. Clear them because I haven't cleared lately. Okay, it's a bigger deck. This card is for everyone for the week, the full moon, to help us negotiate through the emotions that we're going through. Merlin! Merlin! The Merlin. Magic. I knew magic was coming to us. Merlin. Alchemy, justice, balance. Didn't I talk about riding a ship today? Balance. Merlin, look at this card. Isn't it magnificent? He too has a dragon. He too has a dragon. Beautiful. Sitting in his power. Sitting in his power. The Merlin. Okay, so, this is one card. So we're on a full moon. One, new beginnings, opportunities once we're done with our stories. Merlin. Merlin is the messenger of intuition and alchemy and is both the magician and the high priest. He is the masculine keeper of magic and has the ability to turn iron into gold. The Merlin says, "You have all you need to move forward. Rejoice that all is the elements you require for success are indeed present. You are given notice that when it comes to your life and its purpose, the magical aspect of the Merlin can be summoned to help you find the answer that is within you. When the Merlin appears, he tells you that justice will be done in the matters of your quarry, but not by any forceful action. Instead, ask yourself what you need to do by bringing balance into your life. You are working too hard, perhaps overthinking things. Do you have enough downtime? The answers you seek are not found in the obvious places. It's time to go within through meditation or prayer and ask for a spirit world of Merlin's magical influences to send you signs and omens to help you chart your course. The Merlin says that he will lead you in his wisdom and magic on the legs of your journey until you can claim it as your own. His message is always, be in the world, but not of it, and wear it only as a loose cloak about your shoulders. Ooh, isn't that important? Let me reread that. His message is always, be in the world, but not of it, and wear it only as a loose cloak about your shoulders. You will never have to look outside yourself for answers when the Merlin appears. Remember, all signs and omens sent by Merlin are but reflections of that which is within you already. Boy, I like that statement. Be in the world. So be in the world. Do what's in front of you. Be where you're at. Notice the little things around you, right? Notice the little things around you, but not of it. So, in other words, notice it, interact with it, but not react to it, but not of it. You are not the energies, they are of you. You have a choice to either be reactive to those energies or to be in your own light and love, right? And wear it only as a loose cloak about your shoulders. So another time, it's like, like my son who walks at 3 o'clock in the morning through town to get to work because he doesn't drive. I wear my cloak. I worry about him loosely, but I still sleep. I still am able to sleep because he is in his journey. So I wear that cloak loosely as I care as a mother, but I can't suffer as a mother. I can't bring it inward and worry about him because he is his own being, right? What wiseness. So we had Merlin. And then, Veronica, you had, you'll know in the morning. So many of us will know in the morning too. And then divine feminine. So we had actually divine feminine and divine masculine, didn't we? What does divine feminine and divine masculine do? Creates a balance, a ship that is uprighted as my hand is going in the middle. It's not necessarily over on one side or the other, but a ship that is righted. So if we balance masculine and feminine, knowing each one has its own power, empowerment, but yet they're able to work together, right? May love be with you. And I'm asking for this full moon energy that we create an ending to the hate and the disharmony that is in our world. And I'm asking for healing on this so that we can create love, understanding, and compassion, that everybody has a different perception, but our perceptions can work with other people's perceptions. And if they can't, then we have love and grace for someone else. I ask this to be, so be it. Aho and amen. May love be with you in your journey, and know that your emotions are worthy of being heard and negotiated with. Yet at the same time, give them a time and then tell them we can change this world of our reality that we see in our perception. Blessings to you on this journey. I'm Natasha Venter, and I'm here Mondays and Wednesdays at 4 o'clock Pacific time. On Instagram, it's only on Wednesdays when I don't have a guest, which is most of the time. So with that, you can always reach me on my YouTube channel, Natasha Venter. Please like and or subscribe to that station. I'd be grateful. Bye now. Have a good day. Blessings to you.